Hello everybody, I'm back with another show at Baller Ballers. Some more updates, some more things going on around the Man U squad, around the league. And I'd like you to like, share, comment and subscribe as well. If you can, I really appreciate it. And there's a couple of things I want to get into today to discuss. Talk about the new Man U kit, the third kit, which I really like. Sponsorships, Hojlund, Collier, Baleba again. So there's quite a few things I want to discuss, and especially about that Rashford interview and some of the things that he said on there. So, in case you didn't know, there was an injury to Sekou Kone yesterday. He went up to head of the ball, clashed with the opposing player, and was on the floor. I think it took about 20 minutes to get him on the stretcher and stretcher him off. Thankfully, we've had an update from United, and he said that he sustained a head injury in tonight's National League Cup game. Sekou is conscious, stable, and communicating with United's medical team. He has been taken to hospital as a precaution for further checks. So I'm glad that he's doing well, and I'm glad that he's conscious and talking. And hopefully he'll recover and get back on the pitch sooner rather than later. It's always sad to see young players injured, especially with head injuries, because they can really end careers. So this is the new Man United kit. Third kit is absolutely amazing. I've got mine on order. Can't wait for it to come. Can't wait to wear it. It's in fact, I might order two. One just in case one, creases, or I don't know, something happens to it maybe. I'm going to probably order two, but I've got one on the way and I'm looking forward to wearing it, and it looks amazing. I think it's the best kit this season. The best kit we've had for a while, I think. I absolutely love it. And he needs to hurry up and arrive. He needs to land on my front door. Okay. Money. Sponsorships. United make money off sponsorships. So it's nice to have some new sponsors and some more ways of making money and bringing money. So hopefully, that money will help towards new signings and other stuff along the way. It might even help towards Baleba, because there's a rumor that we've had quite a bit come in. We've got a deal going on with Coke. So Coke's one of our sponsors now. So next time I go to Old Trafford, probably for the Chelsea game, because I think that's when really I'm free on a Saturday, I'm gonna go out and buy some Coke. So yeah, so it looks promising that the money coming in. I think this deal I've heard was 1 million a year, so it's not really a massive deal. But there was another deal as well, and this deal there we are. And Sokin, I don't know who Sokin is, but yeah, we got a deal with Sokin. Let me just there we go. I don't know what's happening there, but yeah, we got a deal with Sokin. Man United have today announced a multi-year agreement with Sokin, appointing a UK headquartered fintech company as club's official global business payment solutions partner. Now, I don't even know who Sokin is. I haven't heard of him. But, United can strike deals with anyone. If you got the money, it's a deal. The partnership marks a step forward in Manchester United's commitment to enhancing its global operations through smarter, faster business-to-business payment solutions. Okay, so it's a business payment platform, I guess. Sokin leverages AI to generate efficiencies across its platform, passing on cost savings directly to the clients. Fairs. But I did hear that there's the deal is worth about, with all the sponsorships coming in, about 70 million altogether. And I don't know whether that's spread over the cost, spread over the years, or it's one payment is that just a payment for the year? But 70 mil, hey, Baleba's free. Maybe not for sale, but he's free. But that's some of the ways United are making money to get deals done. And we were thinking I was just thinking, where's they getting this money from? Because I know Cunha goes on to last year's finances. So we had money for Mbumo and Sesko sitting there. So it was like, where are we actually getting this money from? Makes sense. Sponsors. So I think they're spending the money and then getting the money back through sponsorship. All right. Now let's get on to Rashford. Did you guys see this miss? I don't know how he missed an open goal, but yeah, there was a miss. But he also had an interview with Gary Lineker. Micah Richards was there. It was an interesting interview. I watched the whole thing yesterday. It was really interesting just to get a glimpse and his thought process. And I think one of the things that really got me was this point that he made. You see with any team that's been successful over a period of time, they have principles that any coach that comes in, any player that comes in has to align with these principles or be able to add to these principles. Whereas at times I don't feel like United have just been, we're hungry to win, so we'll always try to adapt and sign players and fit the system, but it's reactionary. We've been way below where we deemed United to be, but then if you take a step back, which I've been able to do, especially over the last 6 months, what do you expect? I feel like we've had that many different managers and ideas and strategies in order to win. You end up in no man's land. Now, a lot of people probably gonna dislike me for saying this. A lot of people dislike me anyway. But I somewhat agree with what he's saying. If you look at it since Fergie retired, how many managers we've had, how many changes we've had, how many systems that have come in and gone. And if I worked in a warehouse and I had a manager and I got used to the way he worked and I enjoyed it, and a new manager came in 2 years later, I wanted to change stuff, so he starts changing stuff, and then we have to adapt again, and things change, people get moved around, and people come, people go, because they don't like the new management or whatever, for whatever reason, and a lot of changes are made. And then if that manager stays around for like 9 months, and then you get a new manager, and all of a sudden you got used to that manager's way of working, but then this new manager comes in and wants to change everything, you got to start again and adapt to new systems, and people come and go, and changes are made, and it's the whole process. And if you go through that to 5, 6, 7 managers down the line, you will eventually get fed up, and you will end up in a state where you just can't be asked. And I think that's probably what happened with Rashford. I think, yes, some of it was his fault. I'm not saying that it wasn't, but then you also get some. I've got to see it from his perspective, and that scenario that I just gave, I got to see it from that perspective, where I will get fed up, and there'll be a point where whether I want to stay, I want to go, do I want to leave the company, do I want to stay with the company, what do I do? I'm just fed up of working here. I've got no motivation. I've had that many changes. What's the point of keeping myself motivated when in 6 months' time another manager is going to come in and change everything again? So yeah, I see it from his point of view, and I also see it from the point of view of United, where he came and every time a new manager came in, because he was so fed up, it showed that he weren't training as hard, he weren't doing the stuff that they wanted him to do. So I see it from that point of view as well. But yeah, we've had a lot of managers come in. We've had rarely any stability about anything. We've had no direction. Not until Amorim come in, to be fair. Since Amorim come in, you've seen a system in place. You've seen the players that he actually wants, and you're not actually going out to buy them players instead of buying whatever's available just because they can and just because they want to just bring players in. And they actually, I feel like this transfer window has shown that we needed strikers. They went out to get Mbumo, Sesko and Kone. Boom. There's slot in midfield. We've seen it in pre-season. We've seen it last season. Baleba, let's go. Let's go get him. Let's run out and get him. So I see it from I see it from Rashford's perspective, also see it from the club's perspective. So now that we're finally seeing a bit of stability come in, hopefully going forward, things will improve a lot. If you see the training videos at Carrington, you see players smiling, laughing, joking. Yes, we saw that a bit last season, but there weren't really much to see of it. Just working hard, Amorim pushing them because you weren't happy with the results. Season before that, yeah, you do see a bit of fun, but there wasn't really much. And I think this season you see them gel. They went out to the Drake concert in the States when they were up there. So I am seeing it and I know where he's coming from. And I think I understand the reason why he wanted to go. And now he's gone on loan to Barca. I do wish him the best. I've always said that. But yeah, I suppose I do see it from his point of view. So I can't really knock him for saying that. Although a lot of Man U fans will be angry with me. Fair enough. But I can't. And it brings me on to Baleba. So with Baleba, there's not really been an official... gosh. Yeah, there you go. There's not really been an official number of what Brighton want. Ben Jacobs mentioned this, and I heard him mention it today, funnily enough. I heard him mention it today. And there's a number going around of 100 to 112 million. I've even heard 122 million today. But Ben Jacob was, I can't remember where I saw it, maybe on YouTube somewhere. But he did say there isn't an official number at all. Brighton don't want him to leave, so they don't want to give an official number. So I don't know where this 100, 112 million come from. But that's where it is at the moment. I don't know whether United are going to actually go in for a bid. But there is rumours that we are. But we just got to determine what Brighton want. And if they're not saying what they want, it's hard to judge what they want. So I think it's just going to be a waiting game. And if you do see a bid, it's probably going to be either, knowing my luck, over the weekend or early next week. Because we can't really leave it to last minute. Because we still got to get the deal done. We still got to get him in and all that. So, yeah. It'll be... if a bid does go in, it'll probably going to be over this weekend or early next week, I reckon. Probably by Tuesday latest. Hojlund has begun discussions with AC Milan, finally. So I think he's coming round to the concept of him leaving now. I don't think he's happy. I don't think he actually wants to leave, but I think he's been told that he has to go on loan. Although he's adamant that he wants to stay and fight for his place. But I did mention in my video earlier in this week that we've got players that can play up there. We got Kone that can play up there. We got Mbumo that can play up there. So we got Xerxes that can play as a false nine. So we don't really need him in the squad, so per se, because we had high hopes and the hopes haven't been reached. So I think it's time he does move on. I did say, I think the deal's still saying it's going to be about 6 million euros with all the wages paid, and then next year they're going to pay off the rest of it. So it benefits both teams. I think they've got an agreement that benefits both teams. So we're just going to have to, I think this one's going to be a waiting game, and just going to have to see what happens. And Toby Collier's gone out on loan to West Brom with no buyout clause. So that means buy option clause. So that means he's probably going to be returning, which is good. I think this just get him out there, get him some football, get him some first team starts, get him to where we want him to be before he comes back. And then when he comes back, we can play him in his position and he can be a starter. Man United trust him for the future, as West Brom are set to win the race after Hull City tried in the recent weeks, but they weren't successful, so he's gone to West Brom. So yeah, that is pretty much all the news I have for you today. And if any updates come in, I'll keep you posted. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and see you soon.